Hi everyone, it's Global Scholarships and I'm your host Az. I hope you're all doing well. I hope everything is going great. And today we're going to see how to find scholarships in Canada. Now, why Canada, you might ask? Because one of our viewers in our live stream asked us to make a video on finding scholarships in Canada, so that's what we are doing right now. So basically, if you do not know who we are Global Scholarships. We are a platform that shares a lot of informative stuff, a lot of useful stuff about scholarships, about studying abroad, about opportunities for international students, etc., etc. We have a YouTube channel, we have a TikTok account, and we have, as you can see, a website, globalscholarships.com. Now, first of all, like as you can see, when you go to our website, you can find our free search tool, which is an amazing and free tool to find scholarships all around the world, which I'm going to show you how to use to find scholarships in Canada specifically. But before that, first I want to show you a couple of things, because if you want to find scholarships in Canada, then pretty much probably you want to study in Canada, right? And there are quite a lot of information that you might need to be able to study in Canada. And I'm going to show you a couple of guides that you can freely use from our website. So basically, when you go to globalscholarships.com, again, completely free, there is no registration or anything. You can just go to globalscholarships.com now, and this is the page you will be faced with. Now, as you can see, we have courses, scholarships, resources. We're going to see these and guides. Now, guides are extremely important. We have a lot of very, very, very informative guides here. And one of them, as you can see, is, country guides. Now, we have study in Canada. So this is not a guide, but this is a collection of guides, which there are dozens of guides here about pretty much everything, every specific subject you might face, you might come across when you try to go and study in Canada. For example, we have some stuff about higher education in Canada, pros and cons of the education system in Canada. As you can see, we have other countries as well, and especially pros and cons, I would really highly advise you to see, because I've seen a couple of things that I didn't really know about, and I'm pretty sure you will find some stuff that you did not know about too. It's really good. We have choosing a university here, about what universities, what are the best universities, public universities, private universities, and etc. And as you can see, we have here load more. So we have quite a lot of guides for choosing a university. We have study bachelor's, study master's, study PhD, a complete guide to university applications. You can just click on any of these, by the way. It will open in a new tab, and you can then read our complete guide, right? And we have Canadian universities with no application fees. Now, this one is a little funny because the name might lead you to believe that there are more than one, but no, there's just one. It's Booth University College. As you can see, it's just one university, free to all Canadian and US citizens, and $150 for international students, which is not ideal. Yeah, we have tuition fees in Canadian universities. We have best cities and the grading system. This might be quite interesting for you if you want to study in this country. We have English proficiency tests. Now, most of these are not specifically for Canada. Of course, as you can see, 7 universities in Canada accepting TOEFL scores. That is clearly for specific in Canada, and this is too. We also have this test, Canadian English Language Proficiency Index Program. This is another English test that is done by the government in Canada. So, if you want to, basically, if you want to settle and get a residence permit, this is the thing you have to go through. So, if you want to do that, you can get more information, and of course, financing your studies, how to study in Canada for free. So this is our we have these types of videos for. Hang on, let me just verify that I'm a human. Okay, as you can see now, we already have a lot of videos about some of the guides that we have here. This is, for example, in our in our YouTube channel. You can see this too. If you want, you can go there and watch it. Cost of studying and living in Canada, cheapest universities in British Columbia, and etc. etc. You can load more. Like there are quite a lot of very specific guides here, and of course, one thing that most people are interested in, scholarship opportunities. Now we're gonna come back to these, but as you can see, we have more stuff here, like types of visas. If I remember correctly, I made a video about how to get a Canadian work visa, which, sorry, apparently none of you were all that interested in. We have work opportunities, online degrees, acceptance rates, and etc. Anyway, let's get back to scholarship opportunities. Now, we have like 5 guides here. One of them is VINIA Canada Graduate Scholarships for International Students. You can look into that if you want. Like, you can click here. This is one of the government scholarships. We have a page for all the government scholarships, like from Finland, Korea, and etc. etc. This is for VINIA. As you can see, you can read through here, like what it is, what it covers, and etc. etc. This is as you can see, for graduate students. Other than that, we have like 35 best scholarships in Canada for international students, 5 best scholarships, 5 in different places. You can look into this, but you don't have to, because now I'm going to show you how to use our search tool, which is completely free and really simple to use. What you do is you go to globalscholarships.com, and in our search tool, type in Canada. Click. And now we have thousands and thousands, about, if I remember correctly, hang on, let me see actually, how many scholarships do we exactly have? No, this is still Canada. Let me try that again. So I'm trying to show you how our tool works. We have about 4,500 scholarships in our database, and you can filter these by degrees, locations, scholarship type, and etc. So let's choose Canada as location, which will give us about 436 scholarships in total. You can click on any of these and it will take you our page that we have for that scholarship. We're going to see that in a second, how that works. But first, let's see our filters, right? You can filter for degree. If you are looking for scholarships that are for bachelor students, master students, PhD students, you can filter that. Let's say PhD. We have scholarship type. Like we have location, obviously, we have scholarship type. Now, what scholarship type means is we have 3 different scholarship types. One is partial funding, one is full tuition, and one is full funding. Basically, partial funding means the scholarship covers less than the entirety of your tuition fees. So if the school's tuition fees are, let's say, $40,000 per year, and if a scholarship covers $20,000 per year, it's a partial funding scholarship. Or it could be a scholarship that gives you like 70% tuition discount. Then it too would be a partial funding scholarship. We have full tuition. Full tuition means the scholarship covers the tuition fees and that's it. It doesn't give you anything more. If it's like $40,000 per year, the tuition fees, it covers that amount. And full funding, of course, means it gives you the tuition fees, like it covers the tuition fees, and then it gives you something a little bit more. Maybe like an allowance, maybe a stipend. It will give you like $400, $500, $1,000 every month, or some amount of money every year. Or it can be accommodation. It might be covering your accommodation. It might be giving you a specific allowance for something like a laptop, perhaps, or books. Or it can cover your health insurance and etc. etc. Basically, full funding is the fullest, like the most comprehensive scholarship type. So of course there are way more comprehensive and there are fewer of those. For example, let's see, we have 124 scholarships of all types for PhD students in Canada. If I choose partial funding, we have about 118. If I choose full funding, we have 4. And these are extremely, these are so competitive. Most people know, most people who want to study in Canada would know these by name. So they're very competitive. So we have scholarship deadline. Obviously, if you are looking to apply right now, you need to choose currently open. We have subjects and nationalities. Now, a lot of people come to our live streams and ask, I'm from this country and I want to study this subject. Can I find scholarships? Now, most scholarships will not care about your nationality. Let's say we have 124 scholarships for all nations, right? And let's say I'm from Turkey, right? Let's choose Turkey. It's literally same. There are no scholarships that exclude me because of my nation. Let's choose another nation, perhaps, I don't know, from Niger. Yeah, the same, as you can see. Most ones do not really care. And for subject 2, one thing about subject though, let's say accounting, right? 98. Now, one thing about this is that, as you can see, quite a lot of these scholarships are all subjects, but what Global Scholarships does not do is going to every university and see every program they offer. So if they have a scholarship and it's for all subjects that are offered in that university, Global Scholarships put that for every available subject here. So let's say we've chose accounting and we have Killam Productoral Scholarship Level 2 in Dalhousie University. Now, if this university does offer this program, since it's all subjects, it means that you can apply to this scholarship with accounting as a subject. But if the university does not offer that program, does not offer accounting, you cannot apply to this scholarship with accounting because you cannot study accounting in that school in the first place. So keep that in mind. So if you want to look for scholarships while studying accounting, you would also need to look into that university and see if they offer that specific program. So like, I'm trying to make sure that you don't get the wrong idea here, right? Okay, so let's see scholarship type. Let's see how our pages work and like how can you, because at this point we've come from zero knowledge and now we know what opportunities we have for full funding scholarships in Canada for, let's say, PhD. And we have this one here, let's say 4-year doctoral fellowship in University of British Columbia. It's a very popular university in Canada. All right, let's click and go. Now, this is the page we have for every scholarship in our database. It has quite a lot of information. We have first a summary, level of studies, PhD, University of British Columbia, obviously, scholarship type, again, full funding, all nations and all subjects offered at, again, all subjects offered at University of British Columbia. And there are no specific number of recipients and there are no specific deadline. Usually it is like that for PhD programs. Now, if you want to get even more information about the university, you can just click here and go to our page for that specific university. This is our page for University of British Columbia, which will give you pretty much every single piece of information you might need about that university. As you can see, from the location to population, which is a very large school, and number of scholarships, which is quite a lot. There are 17 scholarships in this school. And you can click on any of these. Let's say you click on scholarships, boom. Now you're in the scholarship section of that page and you can see all the scholarships that they have. Like these are for undergraduates. This is full funding, partial funding. A partial funding that gives 85,000 Canadian dollars, another partial funding, and etc. etc. You can see all the scholarships they have. Also, you can see the admission process, right? If you want to get more information on how to apply to this school, you can just click on any of these. Let's say bachelor's, right? And this takes you to the admission page of that university. So here we have undergraduate admissions, ready to apply, which is, I guess, it's the portal of the university, right? So we have the deadlines, and of course we have the tuition fees, which is another thing that a lot of people will be quite interested in, because when it comes to Canada, tuition fees are one thing that is one of the most restrictive things for a lot of people. Like one thing that they have to, deal with if they want to study here, and it's quite high. in Canada too. As you can see, it's about like 42,000 Canadian dollars, which is like we also have it in United States dollars. Sorry, it's about $31,000 to about 43,000 United States dollars. So yeah, you can get pretty much all the information you might need about the university from our page. Now let's go back to the scholarship page. Now, after summary, we have the coverage, of course. Fully funded scholarship for international students covers the following: 100% of tuition fees. So that about 40,000, 50,000 Canadian dollars, this covers all of that. And it gives you an $18,000 living stipend. Now, as a rule of thumb, if a number this is for both Canada and Australia, it gives you just dollars and doesn't say anything else, it's probably local currency. Like this is probably Canadian dollars. We're going to see these in more detail. This is just the beginning. Right? We have the eligibility criteria for this. There's pretty much none. Application procedure here. And there is no separate application needed for 4-year doctoral fellowship. Right? And if we have made a video on that scholarship, you'll also find that in here, embedded to this page, which you can see. I think this is from our, hang on. Yeah, this is from our earlier live streams I've been doing with Eamon, who gives us expert opinion. And then we have a comment section. Now, it's really important to emphasize this, because if you have any questions about a scholarship, about a university, about anything that we have a page for, the best place to ask that is our comment section. Because Yanni, our founder of globalscholarships.com, answers all the questions here. And I'm not exaggerating. He answers all the questions. So if you have any questions, just leave it in here. He'll answer them for you, right? And this is our page. Basically, this is the information you can get from our page. But if you want even more information, you can just click here, official scholarship page, and go to the university's page for the scholarship to get even more information, like eligibility, evaluation criteria, and application procedures. To be considered for 4-year fellowship funding, students submit an application for admission to the appropriate graduate program. Yeah, as you can see. So, all PhD, DMA, and MD PhD applicants offered admission are automatically considered for 4YF funding. Like, you can visit the application and admission page here. So basically, this is a great tool because it takes you from here, the point 0, where you have, you want to study in Canada, you have no idea what opportunities you have, to the point where you know that you have, there's a scholarship suitable for you in this university, and you know how to apply for it, which is about in less than 10 minutes, you come to this point. So it's really efficient, really useful. And yeah, this was one scholarship. There are so many other scholarships as well. Let's look for one for bachelors. A lot of people ask for bachelors. As you can see, we have 4 full funding scholarships in Canada for bachelors. You don't usually get that many scholarships for bachelors anyway, so it's not really easy to find. As you can see, you have 4 here. This is a very popular scholarship as well, Lester B. Pearson International Scholarships. So once again, our page covers pretty much everything. Bachelors, University of Toronto, full funding. This has a specific number of recipients and specific deadlines. And coverage, 100% of tuition fees. Again, as you can see, book and materials fees and accommodation fees. This doesn't give you a living stipend. So you would have to work for that. Or, of course, you can have your own funds. We have eligibility criteria. Incoming international students currently in their last year or have recently graduated, right? We have the application procedure. Obviously, you can also go to University of Toronto by clicking here and get all the information. Location, population, it's a huge university. Has 46 scholarships. 46 scholarships that you can get to know, just like this one, right? 46 scholarship. You can just click here and look at that. full funding, partial funding. Again, most of them will be partial funding, but do not sleep on partial funding scholarships, because a lot of people who went to other countries to study will tell you that like partial scholarships, when added up, are very significant in helping you study in another country. So yeah, we have the coverage here, we have the eligibility criteria, procedure, like the documents you might need. Again, see all the comments we have, and every one of them is answered. Actually, the odd number here kind of piqued my interest, because it should be like, if everything is answered, it should be an even number, right? So I've checked it out to see if Hyunli did not answer one of those questions. No, he answers all of them. Just and one of our friends also answered that question, so that's why it's 19. So he answers all the questions, and you can click here to go and see the scholarship from the university. Basically, again, to become a Pearson Scholar, you must be nominated by your school and apply to undergraduate studies at the University of Toronto, etc., etc. You can see here. Again, from the point of zero, where you have no idea what opportunities you have, to the point where you know now how to apply. Now, okay, so we've learned about Canada, how to study in Canada. Pros and cons, what program, etc., etc., etc. And now we know what scholarship opportunities that we have and how to apply to them. But how to get them? Like, how can we get even more information, more insights about how to get scholarships and how to go and live there? Now, one thing that I really, really like that Global Scholarships does is, when you go to resources, you can just go to our homepage, go to resources, and we have something called Scholarship Stories. Here we have scholarship stories by degree and by country. You can click on Canada, and we have these for a lot of other countries as well. And these are like, we are bringing in more people, more stories. Basically, these are 2 people that we have right now for Canada that receive scholarships, and now they are sharing their stories with us. So this is one of them. As you can see, we have the summary, we have their journey, and they detail scholarships, educational backgrounds, how did they prepare to apply for scholarships, what do they think made their application stand out, what would they have done differently, and what advice would they give to those looking to apply for a similar scholarship. This is a little brief, but we have more, and we'll be adding more for every country, because we are like Global Scholarships all the time, like trying to reach out to more people, more scholarship recipients, to get more stories. As you can see, like, what advice, ask questions. Often the main barrier between you and what you want is inadequate information. What would you have done differently? I would take even more risks and aim even higher. And we have another person here, scholarship details. You can see there are quite a number of scholarships. It's not just one wholesale comprehensive scholarship, but they are going for way more than that, multiple scholarships. Okay, this is a rare answer. What would you have done differently? Nothing, actually. Okay, what advice would you give? You can see here too. Try out all the activities that interest you and are related to your major. So one thing that I have to say about this one, I've done this type of videos for both South Korea and Japanese universities. And when I go to recipients for those countries, most of them said as one of the most important things, and like what would they have done differently, would be learning Japanese or learning the local language earlier. But when I look into America and United States and Canada, they don't really bring up the language all that often. And I believe that is because English is already a very prominent language in quite a lot of places in the world. So that's why they don't think they also should have gone and done that. So keep that in mind. Just because they do not talk about like how important the English language proficiency is, it does not mean that it's not one of the highest priority things to go and study there. So yeah, this is pretty much it. And like as you can see, we have way more things like guides about tests and documents. We have blogs. We have an about us section where you can look for like our consulting services, or sign up for our newsletters, which I find really useful when trying to find scholarships and trying to create more content. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you found this video to be informative. If you have questions, please ask them in the comment section. But if you have specific questions, just go and go find that scholarship here and then ask them in the comment section, which will be the best place to find answers from the best expert we have, our founder. Or you can just join our live streams every Friday. We do live streams on both YouTube and TikTok, where Ayman joins me and answers all the questions that you might have. Like could be about a scholarship, could be about your specific situation. A lot of people come to our live streams and say, like, I'm from this country, here is my situation, this is my SAT score, this is my GPA, I am studying this, I want to look. There are so many different situations that we see in our live streams, and Ayman is our expert, so he can give quite a lot of unique insights that you might not get anywhere else. So keep that in mind and join our live streams every Friday. We do announcements and etc. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to find more comprehensive guides on studying abroad, just visit our website globalscholarships.com, and see you in the next one.